Hey, if you wanted to know how AI is impacting the mortgage business, what does it mean for me, for my business, and this year? You're listening to the right episode of the Loan Officer Leadership Podcast, powered by the Mortgage Marketing Animals. I'm your host, Steve Kiles, and Chris Johnstone is with me today, and I'm so excited. He's been a friend for years and is really helping us to pave the way for what does this look like, Chris? I mean, it's kind of the talk and all the noise and AI and Chat GTP and what does it mean for me as a loan officer? And I've got the man, the myth, the legend, the expert, Chris Johnstone. What's up?
Steve, thanks so much for having me, man. It's so
I,
great
I
to
feel
be
like
here.
we should have some walk-up music, man. I got your hype going. Dun, 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 dun. What's up, baby? It's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too. It's great to be here. And man, what a time to be alive.
Man, it is. Hey, well, listen, I was thinking, why don't we do this? Take a minute and, for our listeners, many of you're no stranger to the podcast. You've been a part of the marketing animals and what we're doing at a very high level. And we've done some really cool things recently together to join forces. But for somebody who doesn't know who you are, talk about your professional journey. What does it look like? What got you to here? Because you're so instrumental in the technology side of the mortgage industry. Tell our listeners a little bit about your professional journey.
Sure. I have always been a nerd. It's just been, I don't know, just like baked in, like in high school. I'm at the age of like, I actually stayed after school and removed the typewriters and helped to install the computers and networked all the computers together in my high school. So, like, that's.
Hold on, the what for our listeners? They're saying a typewriter. What is that? Are you kidding? Hey,
Yeah. So that was
we
like,
learned to type on a typewriter. I remember that. I'm 46 years young, but I do remember we learned how to type on a typewriter.
isn't that crazy?
It
And
is,
so
man.
my love of technology was always there. And then at a very young age, I joined the mortgage industry with my dad. So I joined the mortgage industry when I was 22, I think. And I don't know what I did to my dad when I was younger, but something not that great. We have a great relationship. I love my dad very much. It's just a joke. But like he put me on the rate sheets and donut circuit like day two in the mortgage industry. Like, fill up your car with donuts, take this rate sheet, go down, talk to realtors, go get realtor relationships. So that was
Stop
like
by
my
every office and drop it off and see if you can go get a loan or something.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think everybody here can probably guess how well that worked out for me. But that really created the hybridization of business and technology for me.
Yeah.
So I found myself late one night on the internet, back before it was actually Google, and like on messaging boards, and found this guy who had put out this report about this brand new thing called Google, and you could run ads on this network called Google AdWords.
Yeah.
And I was one of the first people to bring real estate and mortgage advertising to Google Ads way,
Wow.
way, way back when it was the Wild West. You could buy a
Yeah.
click for mortgages at like 10 cents. And so I discovered how to create real estate leads, take those leads, pre-qualify them, give them to realtors, and then get realtor relationships to send us business because of the lead gen that we were doing.
Wow. Yeah.
And that changed my life forever because I found my love of technology combined with my love of marketing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what has brought me to today.
Wow. Hey, and you're really leading the way for loan officers to very easily implement artificial intelligence into their follow-up. Talk a little bit about that. Like, what are you doing now? Because you've done a lot of great things in the space, but right now it's really been honed in on how do we empower and equip loan officers? Chris, it's what I keep telling everybody this year. If you'll focus on the two C's, you'll stay wildly profitable. Number one is conversion. And
Mm,
that's what AI helps us do is convert even more. And the
yep.
second one is if loan officers can learn how to reduce concessions, you'll stay
Mm.
wildly profitable. And the profitability is what's going to drive your team and growth. So talk about conversion, like some of the things that AI is doing to help us convert even more of what we've already got coming in.
Yeah. So I'll speak about one campaign specifically, but understand that, and to our listeners, what we've done is we've partnered with the mortgage marketing animals to take the DSP, the daily success plan, the things that you like hands down always work, have worked
Mhm.
forever, and we're scaling them using AI, using what I'm about to teach you in this example. So
Yeah.
right now we are booking an average of between 6 and 7 qualified real estate agents per day per concierge agent that's running one of these AI systems. So, Steve, you're probably one of the best in the industry at go get a qualified list of realtors,
Yep.
put together a valuable offer for them, reach out, get them on an appointment, and then convert them to a pipeline of deals and a relationship, right? So, what we're doing is we're taking that same qualified list of people in a local marketplace, we're dropping them into the top of a proven mortgage marketing animals daily success plan campaign that goes out to them. All of that
Mhm.
stays the same. You get a
Yeah.
list, drop them into a campaign.
Yep.
But that's where artificial intelligence takes over because we're dropping them into an AI powered power dialer. So the dialer, where most people are just looking at a list and calling manually, well, the power dialer can dial 5 times as fast. And this is boils down to math. If you
Yeah.
put 100 contacts into a funnel and you put 500 contacts into a funnel, you're going to get 5 times the response out of the funnel that has 5 times more contacts in it.
Right.
This is math. So the AI allows us to call 5 times more people.
Wow.
But what it does is it's able to intelligently see what happens on the phone conversation. So, did we connect with somebody or didn't we? If we didn't connect with them, it automatically takes them and puts them into a CRM campaign that follows up, right? Again, pretty standardish stuff. Everybody has a CRM. Everybody knows you drop contacts in the CRM, it's going to reach out. Use the mortgage marketing animals proven funnels, you know you're going to get results. But what we did was we took it so that when somebody responds back to it, we have a prompt that says, hey, artificial intelligence, here's the framework of what's happening. Here's our business. Here's all our information. Here's the message that we've sent out to the realtor. Here's the context of the conversation. And here's your goal. And
Yeah.
here's different things that you can do. You can book an appointment. You can get a referral. You can get a 5-star rating and review. Here's all the information that you need. We take that information
Yep.
with whatever the realtor has said back to the campaign. We send it to artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence reads it, writes the response, brings it back, and then right now we ask the loan officer to approve the message. So they're just sitting at their desk and they either get a text message or an email and it says, hey, you just got a response from a realtor. Here's what they said. Here's what I'm going to say. Is that okay? And they just click a hyperlink in the message if they like the message. And if they don't, they just take the message, tell the AI how to say it the next time, and it never forgets and just builds on its knowledge base of how
Yeah.
to book those appointments. And the AI is automatically having the conversations and booking the realtors into the calendar.
Hey, you know what I hear in that? It's doing what we would do if we could trust ourselves to follow up every time. I know that sounds silly, but it's like you get busy and I jumped on another phone call and I got my 2 hours of outbound prospecting and hey, I got pulled into a loan consultation and oh my gosh, this fire just came up. And it's like you're getting hit all day long with stuff, the noise. And if I could respond and be consistent in my follow up, it's what I would do.
That's
But
right.
the AI, I love the way you say it. It doesn't sleep, it doesn't get tired, it doesn't have a sick day, but it's literally responding in the same tone, voice of what we've taught it, which is similar to us, to get that agent partner to book into an appointment, send a referral, or give us a review. Bro, that's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, hey, so no, I mean, what I love about it though is, and look, it's there's no magic fairy dust. I think you and I were talking about it. It's helping to convert what it. I think on a side conversation we were talking, and you were saying, man, the core is still the daily success plan, but what it's doing is converting about 15 to 20% more of what otherwise wouldn't have been converted. And that
Yep.
goes back to that two C's. If I can increase my conversion with the same amount of people, that's where it's game over, man. That would be the difference, Chris, for some people of just paying the bills
Yep.
or having a crazy month, like a just wildly profitable month, man. That's
Yeah.
huge.
And it comes back to me, like I've had a huge shift in my career
Yeah.
because I've gone through the evolution of understanding the math of, like, we have a concierge department at
Yeah.
Connection Corporate. I think we have 10 people that are booking an average of anywhere between like 6 and 7 appointments. So we're booking like 70, 80 qualified appointments a
A
day,
day. A day.
a
Yeah.
day
Yeah.
right now in the organization. Well, we have a totally separate division of Connection Incorporated that generates our opportunities,
Yeah.
right? Of talking to loan officers and championing our message into the marketplace. And when I went from relying on me doing the prospecting and then me getting on the phone and doing the selling to having something else doing the
Yeah.
prospecting,
Yeah.
qualifying the people that were on my calendar, and all I had to do was show up and fill those calendar appointments. I went from being able to, from a bandwidth perspective, do 2 appointments a day to I could go to 8 appointments a day. Well, I
Wow.
just 4 times the profitability of the entire organization daily,
Yeah.
right? So there's this methodology of time that I ascribe to, and it's like, if you want to solve a problem, and it's going to take let's give it 5 hours because that fits into a framework. Like, so you get a problem, it's going to take 5 hours to solve that. Well, if you do an hour a week in order to solve that problem, and you've got like 5 blocks, it's going to take you 5 weeks of time
Yeah.
in order to solve that problem,
Yeah.
right? Well, if you just block a 5 hour segment, you can do it in a day. And so you've taken something that takes 5 weeks of time and condensed it into a morning. And growth of your business is like that. And I often find that loan officers look at these top producers that are doing 50 million, 100 million, like they're doing these large numbers, and they're like, I just don't get how those numbers compute.
Mhm.
It's not a factor of just like, they're not smarter, they're not using different scripts, and I shouldn't say they're not, okay, but you get what I'm
No,
saying.
no, 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 no. Yeah, yeah.
There's
They're
not a whole
just
lot of difference.
no. Yeah. You see really good top producers and you see average top producers. You see, I mean, there's a wide spectrum, and it's not typically the producer, it's how they're using their time.
Exactly.
That's it.
Because
They're being more effective with the time they've got. That's it. And they're chunking it down. And I love your analogy because most people would take 5 weeks and then say, "Man, where are my results?" Instead of saying, "How do I take 5 weeks and put it into a morning?" And now you got 10x results. That's the
and that's what
difference.
AI does. The
Yeah.
AI just
Yeah.
takes all of the stuff that should be happening in the back end in order to fill the calendar and filling the calendar so that loan officers go from, hey, I'm doing 2 networking appointments a week to
Yep.
I'm doing 6 networking appointments a day.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't take very long for you to double, triple your pipeline, regardless of what the market conditions are doing. And that's what we're trying to do with artificial intelligence, because there are so many shiny objects out there, Steve. Like, you and I are just bombarded with them
All
all the
day.
time. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, yeah, this AI can take your face and put Brad Pitt's face on your face and talk in a different thing. And it's like, okay, great. Where does the customer come into that? It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's a shiny object. It's a half built bridge. What we're heavily, heavily focused on is getting rid of 90% of what the noise is in artificial intelligence and taking the 10% that could be directly applied to the mortgage industry and help people
Yeah.
make money in this difficult marketplace.
That's it.
And that's what we're focused on.
Yeah. Hey, and Chris, that's it. Half of it is it's like, wow, that's great. But how does that practically help me make more money?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not making more money, it's what I tell people with your time all the time. Your time is making you money or it's costing you money. And that's it. There's no in between. And so if you're doing costing activity, which AI really can take and do it as well or even better
Yeah.
than what we could do, or we could hire somebody to do it, why not utilize it for the fraction of the cost is so minimal compared to the output it's giving us and helping us be more effective.
Oh man, Steve, you said that so well. And it's like, one of the things that I've learned from you is that there's really only 3 ways to grow the mortgage business. You've got your database, you've got referral partners, and you've
Yeah,
got marketing and advertising.
that's it.
And so artificial intelligence at the base level of where we need to be with it today is you need to scale conversations with your database. You need to scale conversations with your referral partners. And then you need to take the tools and use that and apply that to scale your marketing and advertising.
Mm.
And there's a law of diminishing returns, I think, when it comes to marketing and advertising, because other than inbound phone calls from Google and people reading your reviews and calling you from Google, you're going to get a conversion rate of somewhere between like 1% and 3% on those leads. So you have to focus on your database first, your referral partners second, get as much volume as you possibly can from those scenarios. And then if you still need more business, then you leverage and scale marketing and advertising. So we're taking AI, we're focusing on the two pillars first, and then people that join us, then we're empowering them with some marketing tools if they need it on the other side.
Dude, I love it. Well, it goes back to being effective. And once your effectiveness produces a result, which we would call that profit, you put some of it in your pocket, some of it back into the marketplace, however you see fit. And if you want to do more of the marketing, awesome. But we know the highest return is that database and qualified agent relationships. It's 67% of people that are recommended to their lender. They found them through their agent or from a family or friend relationship, which we would call that a database. And so, Chris, I love it. If somebody's listening and they say, dude, Chris, this is great. How does it apply to me? What would be something like, where would you take them? What's something they could do to learn more about how you've actually got a tool? And I know my team and I, we're utilizing it, and man, just excited about the momentum we're seeing through utilizing a loan officer CRM that's really powered by AI. It's kind of our sales force right now. And so talk to our listeners about it and how they can learn more.
Yeah. So we've got a website up. It's loanofficercrm.ai. So loanofficercrm.ai. So not .com, but loanofficercrm.ai. And that's got basic information about what it is and what it does. But there's also going to be a section on that website where you can opt in to get more information. We got a free training there that basically shows you like, hey, this is AI and this is where it's going and this is how you apply it to your business.
Man, I love it. Hey, and if you're curious, go to loanofficercrm.ai. Look at it. If you've got your own CRM, at least take a look at it. And maybe it's something you can incorporate in what you're already doing. But man, I love the conversation and I appreciate your clarity around getting rid of the noise. You know, I heard you were telling me something the other day. You actually have somebody send you all of the latest market news every day so that you can narrow it down and say, okay, forget about all this noise. Here's the only thing that's going to help you make more money in your business. Don't just do this one thing. So you're kind of like our a scope on a rifle, like you're giving us that pinpoint accurate target to hit and not waste time in all the noise of what the market's offering. So, man, it's awesome. What else? Anything else you want to talk about?
So I think for this conversation, I want to add just one extra thing because there's this Harvard Business Review study. And I think loan officers that are working realtor referral relationships, they think that the first conversation of getting the person to reply is the goal. And it's like, okay, I got a response and now I can work this conversation. Well, this Harvard Business Review study shows that if you get back to a lead within the first 5 minutes, you 10 times the response rates of the number of people that you actually bring through the funnel. And I think people look at that from a lead generation perspective and they're like, okay, I get a lead from Zillow. I put it in the CRM, it has to respond instantly, which it does with AI, has the conversation. But I think where people miss that is a response from a realtor when you've reached out to a list of top performing realtors and they respond back and they're like, hey, yeah, I would be interested in talking about your mastermind or having you convert my leads for me or have my coffee appointment with you. That's the beginning of the inbound lead conversation. And if you wait more than 5 or 10 minutes to get back to that realtor when they've engaged you, that's the speed to lead that matters. And converting the realtor is far more important than converting the lead from Zillow. And hardly anybody in the industry right now has automations in place for when somebody responds back to a campaign to get back to them. And it's one of those small hinges that we've discovered that are swinging really big doors for us right now. So I want to make sure that people don't miss that. And again, loanofficercrm.ai, the AI actually responds instantly to every conversation that happens within the CRM. It's definitely worth checking out.
It's going to do what you would do if I would do if I could count on me. Love the way Carl says it. It's like, if I could count on me, it's the way I would respond. And I
That's
would
it.
do it quickly. It goes back to speed to the lead,
Yeah.
and I love that study because it's so true. It doesn't even have to be perfect. It's just that you're responding within the right amount of time, which is
Yep.
what increases that conversion. So, hey, loan officer crm.ai, check it out. And we would love for you to just explore more because you said something. We were together in Tampa at our last Freedom Club, and you said, man, there's going to be two types of loan officers in the future: loan officers who have learned to incorporate AI into their business, and the ones who don't are going to fall behind based on where technology is going. And so, what an important conversation I know you had just a few months ago with, it was me, you, and Carl, and a handful of us, and I just, it keeps standing out. It's like we want to keep bringing it to the forefront because, look, tech, whether you're tech savvy or not, it doesn't matter. You've done something to make it easier for us to access AI and implement what's going to move the needle the most in your business. I know my teams are actually implementing and rolling it out and deploying it. We're excited because we're seeing results come in. And so, if you're listening, check out Loan Officer crm.ai. Make sure to keep follow Chris on his social and what he's doing. I know he's doing so much here at the Marketing Animals. We're just excited to have you on the journey, Chris.
Awesome. Well, Steve, I'm thankful to be here. Thank you for having me on the show. Everybody, thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.
All right, guys, remember this: anything worth doing is worth doing badly. Just get started. See ya.